When I was at school, I really didn't get on with things like metalwork and woodwork. For a start, it seemed to take so long to make anything. And the material you worked with was hard to work with. Filing away at metal or chiselling away at wood seemed to take forever. Back in the early 70s, in the wilds of Essex, I learned to ride Western. And I knew somebody who used to ride with me who was a leather worker, and he used to make the most amazing things like belts and gun belts and saddles. And I always thought I'd like to do that. 2.5 years ago, I was fortunate to go to America, and while I was there I did a road trip. And it was during my road trip I spent about 12 hours in a little town in Colorado, and I went into a shop that sold cowboy gear. It was fabulous, but I couldn't afford any of it because it was just too expensive. But I was chatting to the young lad who was running the shop, and he told me about a website where you could buy stuff online to do leather work. So when I came back to England, I looked it up and found that they'd got some outlets in the UK. And about 6 months after I got back, I was travelling back to Yorkshire from Birmingham, and I stopped off at one of their outlets and bought about £200 worth of equipment, tools and bits of leather. And I started, and I've not really looked back since. It might not appeal to everybody, but I don't find many people that don't admit they love the smell of fresh hide. Whenever I get a delivery of a new side or shoulder of hide, you walk into the room where I keep the leather, and immediately you walk in and this aroma hits you, and it's just fabulous. People see leather goods, leather accessories as being utility items, things that have a function. Okay, they do have a function, but because everything I make is made by hand, right down to stitching it, cutting it, carving and tooling it, each piece I make is a unique piece of artwork. I hand paint guitar straps, and so no two items I make are ever the same. Everything I do is original. I can create things that I want to create, designs and patterns. The beauty of the things that I'm hand making in leather is that I know many of them will outlive me and my lifetime, and probably last for many generations. I'm Graham Richards, and I'm a leather craftsman.